Okay, I think we're about ready. Give me 1 second here. We are definitely live. Wonder if anybody can hear me there. There we go. All right. Think we're good to go there. Think we're good to go here. All right, this your boy MJ. Just quick moment, MJ, as we share the Own Your Life podcast show. I am the host, founder, and creator of the Own Your Life podcast show. Just like to welcome each and every one of you on who are joining us live and or who are joining us in the future right now. But what we want to first do, we want to start off pretty much with our intro song, and then we're gonna go from there, thanking some of our sponsors and getting right to the show. We appreciate you guys attending. It's going to be a live and interactive podcast. Let's get it going. Okay. Let's see if I got that right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really hitting this, getting in stride with the whole show, and I won't keep you guys long and late and everything. Like I said, I am Marquis Jones. I'm the creator and the founder of the Own Your Life movement, co-founder of Excellence Print Design, founder of Life Abundant Services Group. And just want to thank each and every one of you guys out here that's visiting, whether, like I said, whether it's live, streaming live on Facebook or YouTube, whether you're listening to this any other time on any one of your streaming apps, such as Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Apple iTunes. So, like I said, thank you. I wanted to first just thank those partners of the show. One in particular, I'm using them as an inspiration for today's show title On Your Story. The Shonda Davis Real Estate Team and Superior School of Real Estate. These are partners of not only myself of the show, and they're the inspiration for and agents of that company for this week's message as well. But first, a little bit about the On Your Life show. I created this here. There was a long labored birth child dream of mine to really help folks. The purpose of the show is to help folks to make the switch mentality wise, to buy back, make the switch, buy back their time and own their life. And what I mean by the words own your life to me is, and my meaning is, once you control every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every week of every month of your life, that's what we call owning your life. Because when you're in complete control from A to Z, backwards to Z to A, therefore you own your life. And what that means is on your fitness, on your health, on your time, on your faith, on your dreams, on your drama, on your goals, on your future. And like today's podcast episode, Own Your Story. Okay, and right there, so we're going to get right to it. And that right there is just amazing, amazing thing to do. But I went today, but this weekend, I'm tired, I'm pooped out because I was able to go to a celebration of a real estate company I work for, Shonda Davis Real Estate, for agents by agents, one of the largest real estate companies in the Southeast, Black-owned, woman-owned real estate agencies, and growing with a bullet. In the Southeast. But I was really inspired. I had the time to get away and celebrate the accomplishments of a lot of agents, a lot of people of that caliber to really doing their thing, to guys to see people's glory, the celebrations, the emotions, the awards, the big checks, the whole 9 yards, the trappings of success. Sometimes, and sometimes, really the most of the times, we see all of that, but we don't know that we know that there's a story that comes behind it. From the founding of this real estate company by its founder, Shonda Davis, to all of the agents. And I won't mention names because I may leave some out. Those who are celebrated on the stage, and those who just came up to me, they're happy they weren't quitting, because I got to know some of them personally over this past several months with my partnership and my working with them. And it was just inspiring, because one thing for certain, two things for sure, that they did not quit, regardless if they're on the stage celebrating, regardless if they were still there getting it by us. One young lady stopped me. We sat down on the stairs, while the party was dying down. I think it was probably in the middle of it, and she was just excited about finally getting her listening and not quitting. That was amazing. It was a young lady whose story is just out the chain. She should write a book about it. She ended up being the top agent, Shana, of the year, right there, millions of dollars of production. Another young lady, she's perseverance, the MVP award that she received, it's just amazing, and so on and so forth. And then even the owner and founder of the company, Shonda Davis, she has an actual holiday. I think it's June 22nd, or one of them. It was a proclamation given for her because of the story and that glory right there. But to know these folks' story is just tremendous. It was amazing. I was speaking with her this afternoon on the way back here to Beham, to my home. And everybody, every agent, every person in this company has a story. Okay. And trust me, when people are successful, it's just like everybody else. Everyone else who's out here who's successful, who's doing the doggone thing, they all have a story. Okay. You see the glory. And sometimes these stories are enough to make you cry. It was enough inspiration for me. I mean, everybody who knows me personally know I'm going through some hellacious things, but it was purpose for these moments like this. And I was able to just sit back and relax and celebrate so many others. And it was just amazing. So those stories right there, coupled with your why, and that's what helped people go forward. And I want to encourage you guys, anybody listening to this, whether it's episode 200 that you got to and you trek back to this one, number 5, while I'm growing, or it's just you listen to a live or the next day or whenever, I just want to implore you, we all have our stories, okay? But the difference between those who've done, ordinary people who ended up doing extraordinary things, showing extraordinary results you see out there in different fields and endeavors, the difference between those and those folks that have yet to make it, their story just haven't been told enough. Their stories have, those who haven't hit those pinnacles of success and those milestones, their story is not being done, written, it's not completed being written. So I just want to share with you, just remember, everybody has a story. And I want to encourage you to own your story, not anyone else's. Don't be envious of their story. You see them on that stage. Trust me, I have never once saw anybody who's in tears being awarded for something, or just in tears living in a dream home, and they get interviewed, that say, hey, it was pretty easy. Those tears right there are tears of joy, tears of struggle, tears of perseverance, tears of pure moments of being a master of resilience. They've gotten through those milestones. And that right there, just because they didn't give up, because everyone has a story. And guess what? Sometimes our stories, yes, we reach our goals. We reach those pinnacles of success. We have those moments like, yeah, we did it. Keep on going. But guess what? Our stories are not for just us. We get some of our glory, but it's to inspire others, because you never know. Like this series. I was everything under the sun. I could have said, "Hey, y'all, I'm gonna record the message a little bit later because I'm exhausted. I had every reason I had to clean up some other schedule, but I said, no, let's get it done. Started 15 minutes later, but because I know with my story, with these moments of MJ could be just one person's life that's changed or inspired. I have to do it. I started it. The show must go on. So I share that with you because I had all the reasons just to quit, just to not, do what I had to do today, but I didn't. I kept going. And it's just that what I want to share, that's owning your story. I own my story. It's been a lot of different things that have gone on in my life this past couple of months. And I'm still healing from or going through. But I had a chance to spend, like I said, this weekend with a bunch of group of folks. I even auditioned a voice audition. I said, I can't say what, it's a major motion picture. I'm freaking out for a voiceover audition. I'm like, wow. Was I prepped for it? I think I did pretty good. But really what happened afterwards, we had a recall on some things, and me and the powers that be talked about 3-4 hours on a Zoom call. Hence advice, growth, really they're really loving my stories, my moments with MJ, just quick minute blurbs. I've been doing that for a while, and that's what caught me. But then they say, this is your story, write it down. Don't use it as a tragic moment to give up. Write it down. God's giving you some quote unquote content. I'm like, wow, that is a good part of my story. Let's do it. I'm not out the woods yet, a lot of things, but I'm so inspired because I know as I grow, as I get things going, as my book is finishing, being prepared, moments with MJ, this is not a scripted reality. I just didn't quit. As those things are growing, as those things are just getting where they have to go, I'm inspired because I know what's going to happen. Yes, it's not embarrassing. It's some failures, there's some triumphs, there's some pains, there's some tragedies. Some of the stuff self-inflicted, some of the heartbreaks, the whole nine. But that's my story. Hey, I'm not ashamed of it because I'm here today because I kept going and I persevered through it. So I want to share with you, you guys, you all have a story, but also you all have, I guarantee you, that burning desire inside of you to push through it, to do something, to grow, do something extraordinary. You may have fears, you may have worries, you may think about what others may say about you, the whole 9 yards. But let me tell you, the more you're inspired here and here with your story, the more you tell it, the more you share it. Oh my God, it's going to empower you to empower so many others. Okay? And this is going to be tremendous. And that right there is going to make it easy. You won't be ashamed of it. You won't be envious of it. Heck, you have a best-selling book, hopefully, um, out there that's inspire hundreds, thousands, millions, but even just one would be just wonderful. That's what part of the, this moment with MJ on your live show is going to be about. You're going to see so many different other success stories, like the team at the Shonda Davis Real Estate Company. Shonda Davis herself will be a guest on the show on an upcoming episode. You're going to hear the stories. Like, it's going to be wow. You're going to have some other influencers on here that you may be that you are very familiar with. Hear their stories and be like, wow. And hopefully, if anything, it gets, it inspires you, more than anything. It inspires you to, keep going, to persevere, to walk through things and just go for it, because there's no need, for sure. Your story won't impact anybody if it's not told. Your story, you won't be able to tell it if you're not succeeding. It's just, if you don't keep going, you don't want to have a story like, man, she would have, should have, could have, he could have, should have done, but he didn't. They want to hear your story. Because like I said, you never know. It might inspire millions or it might inspire just one. But that's where it is. That's where it goes from there. So I just want to encourage you, each one of you guys listening to the Moment with MJ show, and things are going to be picking up relatively fast, a lot more interviews scheduled, the whole 9 yards. I just want you to know, you have your story. Be inspired by it, grow it, write it down, record it, or just God doggone it, hold on to it and use it as your fuel and inspiration just to keep on going. All right? Because hey, God gave you the story for a reason, not to ridicule you, not to have you be belittled or man emasculated, not to have you hated on, not to have you teased. He gave you that story in your life to inspire others. First of all, yourself. Because, when you go through your go through, it's triumphant. It's going to be tears out there. It's going to be, gonna give you some fuel. I was like one young lady, she got her award out there. She was doing, I think she's really a persevered person that really persevered. She made a call to action. She said, "Oh no, I'm gonna be that top agent next year." I'm like, oh, she's tackling 2022. So she put the declaration out there. So it's gonna be joyous to watch her climb her ascension, you know, to the top. Not if I can have something to say about it. That's another story. I'm gonna get by there too. But it's just one of those things, guys. And I just want to encourage you, don't be ashamed of your story. Smile about it. I know it can be painful at times, but one thing for certain, your story would never get told if you give up. Your story would never get told if you just quit, if you just stop. Just don't do that. It'll be okay along the way to take a knee, but don't quit. Take a breather, but don't quit. Hell, take a nap, but don't quit. Seriously, because each one of you, whether it's in the real estate game, fitness game, business game, speaking game, spiritual game, spirit, marriage game, relationship game, whatever it is you have a goal for and you're trying to strive for, just don't quit. The key is to not quit because you don't know the time or the day you're going to have your breakthrough. You got to go through your numbers of days, whether you're in sales. You got to go through your numbers of prospects, whether you're in sales. You got to go through moments of fitness, okay? Whether you're doing your thing or not. You got to pray on it. You got to have moments of unbridled faith, even against all odds. There's nothing going right. You know, you have to have those moments of, those moments there to get your story told. So you're going to go through the labor pains. You're going to go through the moments where you want to quit. Just don't. Because, I always say this, one of the richest places in this country, I was mentoring a young man, a friend of mine's son, is a cemetery. People who gave up hope, who gave up, who didn't tell their story, who didn't write that book, who didn't start that podcast, who didn't, try out one more time for that sports team. You know, that right there, and that's major right there. There's going to be people out there that are so close to you, they got your DNA, they're not going to support a dang thing you do. Big deal. You obviously weren't meant to inspire them. But there's some perfect strangers that you know less than 2 or 3 months come up to you and hug you and say, "Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for those words of encouragement. Man, I appreciate you, taking the time out to talk to me." These are people you haven't even known. So our lives are not just, to impress our family and get acceptance. We've already been accepted by the Creator. Okay. We've already been accepted when we had our purposes when we were put on this earth. We have that right there. Okay. We already have it. So we don't need acceptance any other place. We just need to keep on going and keep on going. And it doesn't matter. And I'm going to say this to you. You may hear me say this on any episode out there. It doesn't matter how much our lives, your life is in shambles, been tore up, wrecked up, what your past was, you know, things you've done in the past. If you've been forgiven by God, you're still here, and that burning desire is in your body. I mean, God is not done with you yet. No matter how much your life has been torn up. We were listening to a gospel song on the way back to Birmingham today. God will put you back together. He will put you back together in more profound ways right there in front of everyone. And it will astonish them, especially those who gave up on you, especially those who walked away, especially those who are talking about you and don't support you. Don't worry about that. It's going to sting. It's going to hurt. But remember, this is your story. This is your story. This is your song. So, I'm MJ. This is a quick moment, MJ. This was not going to be a very long moment, MJ, today. I just want to encourage each and every one of you guys. I am just looking at some of the live chats here. Oh my God. Okay, YouTube. All right, y'all. Thank you. Those are out there on YouTube. Those are out there really sharing the message and everything. And I just want to know, hey, it's coming. A lot of episodes are coming. If you have some people that you say, you know what, their stories need to be told. They have something showcased. DM me, whether it's Facebook. You can text me if you know my phone number, IG or whatever. Text me. Let me know if there's some people that want to come on the show you think it'd be good to interview. Please let me know. It's not just for the superstars and celebrities. I know you guys are not going to want to hear me talk every week. Shoot that out there. And even if it's you got a story to tell, please, by all means, shoot it out there. And I just want to leave. If there's any questions out there, I have one or two that were text to me already. I'm gonna peer over on the chat scene and just see if there's any personal questions anyone may have. Want to ask anything? Okay, great. I appreciate. Okay, I appreciate some of the accolades over there on YouTube. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I still have to get used to all of the social channels because I can't see any other ones right there. Okay. Great. Well, one of the questions, real fast, while if any other folks want to ask a questions, if you want to support the show, you can Zelle me at Marquis J at marquiscjones.com or on Facebook, Marquis at lifeabundantgroup.com if you want to show a seed and share and support the show. But right here at no charge to you guys, what you guys can do is share it. The show is going to be growing. Share these episodes. Leave a remark and a comment at all given times. And one of the questions I was asked earlier, as far as your story, MJ, what do you do when folks have seen your story, seen you go through life, and as you're telling your story, they criticize you or try to make themselves seem, relevant or not as bad. What is that? That was my writing, excuse me. Make themselves not seem as bad in that story if you're sharing something about them in your personal life. Well, one thing I can say to answer that question right there, the question was basically, what do you do when you have people in your story and there may be family members or friends that are not looking too positive because you're in your story and they're hating on you and they're getting a lot of backlash? Well, the thing is, it's your story, you know. And if it's the truth, I'm not going to say embellish things, make them worse than what they were, like the wolf, what is the boy that cried wolf or anything else like that. I'm just going to encourage you to tell your story. Now, if it's for vengeful to get back, I don't recommend that if you're telling your story. But if your story is some people that hurt you, you want to protect their names or whatever, and they, it is what it is, guys. That's your story. That's your song. And if God's give you the purpose and the material to write, then write about it, talk about it, share about it, be inspired about it. Because I'm gonna tell you what I'm going through, I did not realize, and talking to a few people, there's some things you'll see in the book. I can't wait. I didn't realize how many people have gone through what I've gone through. Now to go through it at this age, it's been miraculous. But it's like, wow, well, I'm not here to tarnish anybody's reputation. But hey, if they gave you the content for the story to write, well, that's on them. So, what do you do? Just keep on going. Remember, everybody's not going to be happy with your story, especially if it's a story of neglect, abuse, abandonment, times you want to give up. People have been all of those things. And, sometimes they need to share that story and that story will inspire others. Maybe God used you for that moment. Unfortunately, it's been painful, but, that's your story. That's your story. So that is definite, definite right there. So that in and of itself, we're about 25 minutes in. I'm gonna wrap it up. I just want to encourage you. Part of owning your life is to set forth to really take charge of every second, of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, or every month of your life. This is not going to be a perfect thing to go, line and toe. Hey, look at my podcast show. I'm just now working on the lighting and the little background. It's still some growth, but every week there's growth. It's going to be painful, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be times you want to give up. It's going to be worth it. This is your story. God chose you for the reason to be the star of this story, your life. So remember that. Don't give up. Don't capitulate. Don't fret. Just keep on going. Trust me, it'll be easier. What I say, it'll be easy in the morning, something like that, and God will put you back together. No matter how rough your life you sing. Congratulations once again to my partners of the show, the team and the agent, Shonda Davis, Lanier, founder, CEO, and all the ladies and gentlemen who are recognized, and heck, the entire CDRE family, myself included. Thank you for the supporters of the show. My soundtrack, radio sound intro song was by R&B awesome artist and boisterous songstress Zawandi. Check her out on Spotify, all the streaming mechanisms, and on IG and TikTok as well. So if anything else, hey, to bid you adieu, good night. Have a great, great, great evening. And just know, if you don't have any fans out there, I'm praying for all your success, regardless of what it is, your endeavors you're trying to succeed in. This guy here, Marquis C. Jones, founder of the Own Your Life Show podcast. I'm rooting for your success. All right? Just make it happen. This your boy MJ. Own your story. God bless.